I was the girl who forced my friends and family to walk into a room first so I could hide behind them. I wouldn't look or talk to anybody in the eyes because I was afraid that they would see what I saw when I looked at myself. It was rare for a guy to be interested in me, so I clung on to the ones that were and did everything so they wouldn't walk away. I presented myself in a way that wasn't who I was, but thought it was what people wanted, and I let my world crumble every time it didn't work out with a guy. I was repellent AF, and it was making my life miserable. I was tired of being overlooked and forgettable. I was chronically exhausted from trying too hard, and I had no relationships of substance. So I spent 5 years mastering how to become irresistible and start being unforgettable, but I'm gonna show you in 20 minutes. Consider this the only masterclass you need, because after learning the mindset shifts, the energy shifts, and the psychology behind what makes you irresistible, it might even become kind of a burden. Before I get into it, make sure to follow me on IG where you can see my daily life and give me input into the videos that I make for you. To be irresistible, there has to be a certain experience that you are giving people in your presence, because while humans are affected by the moods and the attitudes of those around us, you execute a first-class experience for someone through your presence, you become irresistible. It all starts with the sense of knowing versus performing. Younger me did everything with this cause and effect mentality. If I do this, I will receive this, whether that be more compliments, more attention, more validation, whatever it was that I was seeking. I truly believed that if I did more, I would get more. The foundation of all of this is really feminine energy, so if you haven't already watched my video on that, go check it out right now. This is very much being in your sense of knowing within yourself, rather than using the mentality younger me did, cause and effect. If I do X, I'm going to get Y result. That is performing. So you might be performing for a man. You might be performing to get more friends. You might be performing in the workplace so people like you more. But that doesn't make you irresistible. That is a performance, and then when you come home, you're taking the mask off, and that's not really who you are. When you're performing, they can feel it. To make you irresistible, you have to have a sense of knowing within yourself to just be. It's all about intention behind your behavior. So if you're going into an interaction, if you're walking into a room and your intention is, if I act like this, if I do this, I'm going to get this. If I dress like this, I am going to get compliments. If I speak like this, I am going to get attention. If I do this, if I wear this, I am going to get X, Y, and Z. This is all doing energy. You're still doing the most. So you watching might be thinking, well, Vikita,
I'm in my feminine energy.
but yet you're still doing these things, which means that you're not actually in your feminine energy mentally. You are still in that performance, that doing energy. If I do this, I'm gonna get this. There's specific intention behind your behavior, which is causing you to get that repellent effect. I talk all about doing versus being in relation to feminine energy, and that same concept, that same idea applies here. If you are harnessing your feminine energy and you are in being mode within your physical body, but your mind is still doing, then you are not truly tapped into your feminine essence. Feminine essence that is so magnetic and irresistible because you are just being. You're mentally being. And that's the hardest part, but it's the most rewarding. When you can silence your mind as a woman instead of thinking 24/7 about posing in a specific way because you see a really hot guy and you're like, okay, I really want him to notice that my jaw's really, you know, chiseled and I just gotta look like this. Really, your intention behind it is for this hot guy to look at you and notice you. The energy is very different. Versus if you know that hot guy's there and you just happen to look poised and grace and you're just kind of looking around, mentally you won't be thinking, I hope he thinks I look really good. I hope he thinks I look really hot. I hope he thinks I'm attractive. You know that he's there. He's a very attractive guy. You want him to notice you. So you're just kind of looking around, but you're still focused inward. You're still able to focus on what you're doing because you're still within your body, and mentally you are still in being mode. You're not now noticing that this guy is really attractive and hoping that he looks at you, and then mentally you're in doing mode. Like, okay, I'm doing more. Hopefully he looks at me. Do I have anything in my nose? Oh my god. Like, you're just doing and thinking constantly about how he is perceiving you. And that's the biggest point. When you're in your performance era, which we're getting you out of. You are so worried about other people's perception of you. You are now going to perform for his perception of you. You want to make sure that his perception of you is one that you feel confident with and one that you want him to have. So you're kind of contorting yourself mentally and physically to hopefully live up to this perception that you want him to have. You're going to try and control his perception of you by acting in a certain way, behaving in a certain way, positioning yourself in a certain way, which we all have our great angles. Like, we all want to be looking our best. However, if it's taking up our mental energy and now our energy is more outward than inward, we have an issue. The intention behind your actions is what makes you repellent or irresistible. Now, my job is to make you irresistible. So what we have to do is change the intention behind our action in order to really be in that sense of knowing rather than in that performing energy, because we do not need to perform for anybody. If you go into a store and you look at a shirt and you buy the shirt with the intention of, I am going to look so hot in this shirt and I'm going to get so many compliments, guys are going to love the shirt. Once you put the shirt on and model it for the world, you're probably not going to get the reaction that you want or the compliments and validation that you're seeking, because your intention behind the purchasing the shirt was not because you really liked the shirt. It's because you had a very strong cause and effect mindset. If I buy this shirt, I'm going to get compliments, I'm going to get validation, guys are going to think I'm really hot. The intention is very performative. It's, I want compliments, this shirt is going to do the trick. And I have to mention this because I know people are going to ask, which rightfully so, you are smart. I have mentioned conceited advice for confidence. You might be thinking, well, isn't this the same thing? Like, if I'm going into a store and being like, oh my god, I'm gonna look so hot in this, I'm gonna get so many compliments, and you tell me that I need to walk into rooms assuming that people are gonna give me compliments and they just want to be me and be with me, isn't that the same thing? Well, it's not, and here's why. When you are affirming, the intention is very different and the frequency of thoughts is on a very, very different level. If you buy the shirt and say, I'm gonna look so good in this, you're gonna put on the shirt, model it for the world, and affirm, I look so good in this, the intention is very different. Your intention of buying the shirt isn't to get compliments. You're buying a shirt with a sense of knowing that you are going to look so good in said shirt, therefore creating a confirmation response from others. You aren't waiting and praying and hoping, please, I hope I get compliments, I love this shirt, I look really good in this shirt, please tell me I look really good in the shirt, don't I look really good in the shirt? No. You bought the shirt knowing you are gonna look good and you're gonna model the shit out of the shirt, and a byproduct of that knowing is people confirming it back to you. Performing has a sense of entitlement to other people's validation, their attention, and their focus on you. Knowing is that you are going to get that one way or another because you know you look good, you know you're great, you know what comes out of your mouth is valuable, you know you speak with intelligence, you know who you are.
When I wake up in the morning, I look myself at the mirror, I say, I'm handsome, I am blessed. Victor is highly favored. He's cute enough. He's just blessed. So when I come outside, I don't care if you're gonna tell me I'm smart. I already know I'm smart. I'm smart. I don't need anybody's opinion. Me, I'm blessed. And it's truth. It's the facts that rely on the Bible. I don't need anyone's opinion. I don't need anyone's opinion. So title does not matter. What matters is in me.
That intention speaks so much louder and people pick up on that so much easier and quicker, and they just keep on coming back for more because they don't have to tell you anything. You just know. So for them, it's a subconscious understanding that they don't have to do as much work with you than they would the person that needs the validation, that needs the compliments. It's too draining of a task. So people avoid those people. People find these people very mentally exhausting. The person that knows they are just it and just walks around with that sense of knowing gets people to tell them that they are it. You need to embody an indifference to men, which means letting men pursue you or not. A man wanting to pursue you or not is not for you to decide. This goes off the previous point. Know that you are valuable. And if a man doesn't want to pursue you, that is his prerogative. It is not a sign for you to perform for him so that he might change his mind. If he decides to, then you engage accordingly. This mindset helps you bring a detached, secure energy to a date, several dates, that a man will feel, which will make him 10 times more likely and motivated to pursue you. So when you bring an indifference to dating, you give a man the freedom to do whatever the hell he wants to do. You decide whether or not you accept it. You let a man pursue you or not. and then you decide if that is going to work for you. You don't give him chains and shackles and tie him up and hope and pray that because you're tying him up and holding him down and like you're checking his phone, you're checking where he's at, his location, that is going to prevent him from doing things to you that might be hurtful. Cheating, lying, disrespecting, manipulating. We can't control that. That man is going to do what he is going to do regardless of if you spend your days, your hours, all your mental energy, all your personal energy focused on where he's at, who he's with, what he's doing, why aren't you answering your texts. All of that is still going to exist if this man is going to do what he's going to do anyways. You are not able to prevent it. So instead of trying to prevent a man from cheating, prevent a man from lying and using you and manipulating you, one, choose the right man. Have your greens, your reds, and your yellows. If you're not familiar with that, check out the Feminine Dating Academy. I take you through the entire process. But ultimately, you have to choose what you accept. But you cannot choose to accept a man's disrespectful behavior, his lying, his cheating, his ghosting, his hot and cold, but then hate it at the same time. No. When you choose, you better choose with conviction. And having just an overall indifference to men is going to make you 10 times more irresistible to them because one, you're gonna tie in the sense of knowing. And when you're in your sense of knowing, you can have a conversation with a man without thinking and jumping to conclusions. Oh my god, he loves me, he likes me. Yes, we're still gonna affirm that everybody wants to be with us because they do. But it's not this crazy thing that takes over your mind that you need to have people interested in you for you to feel a certain way. You just know that people are into you.
Look at you.
Of course people are into you. However, if you are so fixated on the fact that people have to be into you, this man has to pursue me, that is going to repel him 10 times over. When you just know that this man is going to be into you, you don't have to do much, you're not thinking much, you're not doing the most, you're not putting in overtime. Watch how this man just comes to you. That leads me to say an abundance mindset is what you need to approach life, specifically dating, with if you want to be extremely magnetic and irresistible. An abundance mindset is going to completely transform your life because you're going to believe that there is a pool, literally an infinity pool of men, opportunities, money, friends, all at your fingertips. If it doesn't work out with this one, I'm going back to my pool. What's going on in there? Another really great guy. Okay. Another really great guy. Oh, okay. 2 great guys. 3 great guys. Oh my god, it's endless. Okay, so now we're at this endless pool of amazing guys. Do you think that we're gonna fixate on Bob? No, we're not. Because where there's Bob, there's Jimmy and Matt and Justin and all the other amazing guys that are just waiting for you to realize that they're there. You have to align yourself with them. When you're in a scarcity mindset, you're fixated on one guy. And that is going to be your detriment. That is going to be your downfall. Fixating on one person. Fixating on one job. Fixating on this amount of money. And oh my god, I've only got this lump sum of money. I've got to make it last. I'm never going to get any more. I've only got these friends. I'm never ever going to make any friends ever again because that's just how life works. Take away these disempowering thoughts from your mind that have been programmed into you, that you have conditioned yourself with, that you have let others condition you with. Infinite opportunities, infinite potential, infinite amount of amazing friends, infinite amount of amazing men. You just have to align yourself with these people, with these men, with these opportunities, with this influx of money. And how do you do that? You adopt the abundance mindset. You believe that they're there. Tapping into this energy helps you detach from performing, what we talked about in point number 1. Performing for this person, for these friends, for this job, for this opportunity, for this money. You know, we're performing for this money too. You don't need to cling to what's in your current reality that's not serving you because there's better. This is your mantra from now on. I do not need to cling to what is in my current reality that is not serving me because there is better. There is more. I get more. I get better. And that will start giving you back your power, which will seriously increase your magnetism and make you irresistible because you don't have this sense of, I have to have this guy. He's the only one. I have to have this job. It's the only one. Because when you come into relationships, into dating situations, into a work environment, into a friendship with this mentality, you give off a very desperate energy, like it is never going to happen for you again. And so if you are not the best friend ever, this person is going to leave and then you're going to be left alone and it's going to be the worst thing ever. So I have to make sure I'm the best friend ever. I'm going to people please. I'm going to do anything this friend wants. I'm going to show up at 2 a.m. If they're not doing the same for me, I don't really care. I just need to have this friend. friend. I just need friends. When you do this with a man can do anything to you, but it's okay, because if I don't keep doing these things, if I don't people please him, if I don't do what he wants, if I don't go with what he says, if I don't give in to him, then he'll walk away. And so I can't have that. I've got to keep doing these things. This job is the only job I'm ever gonna get, so I can't ask for a raise. I can't put my foot down and have work boundaries. I'm gonna let myself be treated like a modern day slave because I'll never get another job again. This is all a very dirty energy that nobody likes, that people take advantage of. And that is why you're not irresistible, but you're going to be, because it takes me to step number 4. Start finding your thing and help that make you more approachable. So the common things of being approachable are obviously having a good posture, smiling, making eye contact, having an open body language, opening your shoulders up versus going like this and looking down and like, oh my god, my life sucks, why are you looking at me, why are you talking to me? Engage energetically with people. If somebody looks at you, smile, hey, how's it going? But to take it further, your energy has to be very easygoing, very carefree. Again, this comes into the whole desperate, clingy energy. If you don't get approached often because you're unapproachable, let's just be honest, you are going to feel like when somebody approaches you, you have to be perfect, you have to be on, you have to make it count. Oh my god, they're approaching me, okay, I gotta say the perfect thing, I gotta be the perfect person, I gotta be super witty, I gotta be super funny, I gotta be on. What's gonna happen? Performative energy. What's that person picking up on? Oh my god, has this person ever had a conversation in their life? Have they ever spoken to another person before? Practice being approachable by opening yourself up every single time you go out into the world, have conversations with strangers, look at them in the eyes, smile, talk to them. This is going to help drastically in dating as well, because you're going to be able to practice talking to people. We have to talk to people in order to become irresistible. We have to be able to build up this bucket of charisma juice. So to take things to another level, your demeanor, your temperament, this is why I say find your thing. For me, in conversations, I always like to try and make people laugh. I bring humor to the conversation. This helps people remember me. Find your thing. Can you make people feel seen, heard? Are you a really good listener? Maybe you're really funny. Start working on that. Start bringing that to conversations. Find a way to make people remember you, because when you can make people remember you and think, wow, that person is so confident, she was really funny, she made me laugh, do you remember that joke that she told? She really listened to me, I felt like I was really seen in her presence. This part right here, you have to listen, okay? Take notes on this part, because this part is going to be your game-changing point. Make them rely on you for something. Okay, now this sounds manipulative, but it's not. Make people rely on you for something. So if you're a really, really good listener, you're empathetic, you're compassionate, and you really just take people's emotions on, make that space safe for them. Create a space where people feel safe in your presence. Your demeanor matters. Are you standoffish? Are you cold? Are you awkward? Are you rude? When someone looks at you, it's like, why are you looking at me? Like, have a very warm, sunny presence about you. Invite people into your presence. This is key for people looking at you and feeling that you're irresistible. It's like, oh my god, I can't get enough of this person because they're so fun and so carefree and so easygoing. They're lighthearted. They're always smiling. They're always bringing jokes, or whatever your thing is. You're gonna find that. You're always bringing things to the party, to the conversation. Okay, that is why you have to find your thing. When you're working on your thing, your demeanor, like I said, empathy, compassion, listening skills, being a person that can provide valuable advice to somebody, help them in a situation with your words, that has a lot. Empathy and compassion hold a lot of weight in interactions with people. It makes them feel seen, protected, heard, and that makes you unforgettable. When you can make someone feel seen and heard and protected and safe in your presence, it's game over. They will never forget who you are. They will always want to be in your presence, which brings me to stroking somebody's ego. Don't overdo it like a kook and be like, you look so good, oh my god, I love your hair. That's just desperate, that's just clingy. With a sense of knowing, okay? All of this goes together. Sense of knowing. When you make people feel upgraded just by being in your presence, you are going to have these people coming back to you over and over and over again. They will speak so highly of you. You will be so respected. Make everybody that you interact with feel like their best self. Give people upgrades in your presence. Just by being around you, you've changed this person's life. You do that with your energy. You do that by giving compliments. You do that by being valuable. If they have a problem, I'm here to listen. I'm here to help you through it. I'm here to support you. How can you elevate people's presence? How can you elevate their sense of being and their sense of self without being overly therapeutic, like now you're just a therapist listening to them? No. How can you just snippet by snippet give them a taste of a better life? Make them feel like, oh my god, anything is possible. That is what you want to do. That is so magnetic and makes people feel so incredibly drawn to you, because you're giving them a space in which they feel like their best self. And maybe they don't feel like their best self right now, but in your presence they feel like it's possible. When you let somebody talk about themselves, focus on what they're interested in, you keep asking questions, it's like, wow, that's really interesting. Okay, cool. Well, tell me more about that. That's just gonna be like, wait, hold on, what's going on here? In this day and age, somebody's asking me about me? My words have value in her presence. Wow. Make sure to subscribe down below. Check out the links in my description box. You can find the Feminine Dating Academy at the top link in my description, and I will see you at my next video. Bye!